Okay, live on location with Murray and director Jeff behind the camera that makes it all happen. And this is our 4th episode, and we're grateful and lucky to have Jordan Boudreau, 6th Dan black belt, founder of Family Taekwondo in Prince George, here in Prince George.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for coming.
Good to see you, Murray.
Nice. You too. Okay, we'll start with the first question. What got you into training Taekwondo in the first place?
Yeah, so it's funny, and a lot of people may or may not even believe me, but like I knew even when I was little, like a little kid, like 4 and 5 years old, I wanted to do martial arts. I didn't know any other martial arts other than the name karate. So obviously I wanted to be in karate. And one of the most early memories I can have of knowing for sure that I wanted to be in karate was we were at a family friend's house, and they had another young child there, and we were hanging out in his bedroom, and he had this certificate on his wall, and it was for a yellow belt from whatever the club happened to be in Prince George at the time. And I just thought, just seeing that certificate on this kid's wall, I'm just like, oh, this is amazing, right?
Karate?
It was a karate certificate, yeah. I didn't actually get into Taekwondo and martial arts in general until I was 13. So I think I got a late start in it, but it's just one of those things. And I finally had the opportunity to join a martial arts school at 13. My older brother had already started. It was just in one of the local fitness gyms, running out of the aerobics room. So a very small club, but that's how I got my start in it.
How long did it take you going from joining at 13 to getting a black belt?
For myself, it was a bit of a long process. As I said, I was part of a different organization when I first joined. And so in the world of Taekwondo, there's basically 2 large factions. You have the WT, which is the World Taekwondo, and the ITF, which is the International Taekwondo Federation. And so the school that I started with it practiced the WT style and system.
Is that the Olympic one?
That's the Olympic style Taekwondo, yeah. So I trained with that for about 7-8 years. Got up to the rank of black stripe, so just before black belt. Unfortunately, just at that time, it was multiple instructors, and some were moving, and didn't really know who was going to take over the club. And I was loyal to that club for sure, but like the writing was just on the wall that I was probably going to end up shutting down soon, unfortunately. And my brother, by this time, had already left this club and gone on to join the Prince George Taekwondo School. And he wasn't pushing me, but he's like, you really got to come and check out this club. Like, it's really good, right? And so I'm like, yeah, well, I want to get my black belt here, and then I'll probably move on, because I don't know how much longer this school is going to last anyway, unfortunately. And I went in there one day as a black stripe, and I watched a class that my older brother was in. And I go upstairs to the gym, and it was at the Roller Dome here at the time. And I go into the room, and there's probably about 20 to 25 black belts up there, all training.
Wow.
And I don't even think the school that I belonged to even had 25 students at that time. So go in there, obviously see all these super talented black belts in there. And I could tell right away, like, yeah, I'm not on the same level as these students in this club, right? So it's definitely got humbled, because I thought I was doing pretty good as a black stripe, and then just watching one class. And this would be around when I was like 20, just turning 21. And I actually traveled to Vancouver with this club. I wasn't even a member of it yet. I just traveled down to Vancouver to watch their national championships. And now I got to see all of the competitors from across Canada. Made the move over and joined up at that school, and
Nice.
kind of never looked back. And it's been amazing ever since. So
That's amazing. So did you start right away? You joined that school, then were you training for nationals and competing in provincials and nationals and stuff?
I waited a bit. I actually, when I first joined that club, I had broken my arm. And so I just freshly got a cast on this arm. So I was training with this broken arm. But I wasn't getting ready for any nationals. I knew, like, again, I was telling you, I was not ready for that level of competition after just sitting in the stands watching it. So it took me about a year and a half, training with all these new members, and then finally tried out for national championships. And I'd actually gone to a couple of smaller regional tournaments where maybe there's not going to be as many competitors, and just kind of break myself into that new style. So it took me about a year and a half to get my black belt with that new school.
Very cool. Can you talk about the process?
For sure. So I would say if you're a child coming into martial arts, the process, especially nowadays, it's not as strict. Like, when I first got into martial arts, it was just train, and they're like, to play a game in class, that was out of the question. You didn't do that at all, right? And so for kids nowadays, I think it's geared more towards, like, training should be fun, right? If you're excited to come here and learn martial arts, you should be able to come here and have fun and enjoy it. It shouldn't just be so regimented and so strict. If you want to be a competitor, then you kind of have to take that upon yourself to make sure you regiment those training sessions. But I think for just the average child or teenager, adult coming into it, typical sessions are going to be you're going to come in, you're going to do your warm up, whether it be just running some laps or whatever we happen to do. And we always do some fun games too, right? Like we played Taekwondo tag, or instead of just using your hands, you have to actually kick each other. So
nice.
just change it up a little bit to make it a little bit more fun and engaging. It's just doesn't have to be, like I said, so strict and standing on one spot. You can actually have fun with martial arts now. So it's been a big change from when I started as a child to now how I teach children in my club. So it's I think the biggest change that we have is just how free and sort of I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like just the opportunity to have fun with your training. It doesn't always have to be like you're training for this fight to the death sort of thing, right? Martial arts can be a lot of fun, and we want to make sure that that's what we're doing with our club.
Cool. And you have patterns. What is it called? Patterns? And then
yes. So the Korean terminology for pattern is tul, T-U-L. English terminology pattern. We have sparring. We do power breaking. We have specialty breaking, which is like it's more of a demonstration of just the competitor's athleticism to kick super high or kick over an obstacle. So it's kind of a very interesting form of competition. We also have prearranged sparring, is something that is only, I don't know, like it's for a select few, because the technique that's required, the control that's required, it's almost like a choreographed fight scene is what you're watching, and they actually compete with them now. So that's definitely something that's been new in the past couple of years to competition, is having this event where two competitors, and it can be male or female, and it can be kids, adults, it doesn't matter. And they'll perform these sort of mock fight scenes, and it's really interesting to see
with the patterns.
They'll do pattern technique, but they'll apply it to each other. So basically, when normally you're doing a pattern would just be by yourself, this basically takes a pattern and adds some sort of practicality to it. Even though some of the moves are quite theatrical, it's showing what these techniques are actually used for. So if we're blocking a certain way, it'll demonstrate what technique we're trying to stop with that technique.
So then when did you join or become the founder of Family Taekwondo?
So yeah, that was, again, unfortunately, the Prince George Taekwondo School, again, like as we all change, we get different careers, we're forced to move away. So
that was the ITF one you're talking about.
That was the ITF school, yeah. And at this time, the instructor was going to have to move away, and we're sort of like thinking like, who's going to be taking this over? Hopefully it's someone, right?
Yeah.
And that instructor moved away, and a group of us sort of banded together, and it wasn't just one certain person that was going to take it over. We all decided to run it collectively. We changed the name to Apex Martial Arts, and we were running it, and it was okay. Each instructor sort of had their own ideas on how the school wanted to go and what avenue we should take to see it progress. And again, not to any fault of any of us, it was just sort of like different ideas, different pathways, just led to myself and my brother sort of, we're going to go down this road and we're going to try and run this on our own. So
nice. Yeah. So you guys both founded Family Taekwondo?
Yes. So we started that together. We ran it for quite a few years. We're just running out of like community halls and basement of churches. At one time, we were operating out of a dance studio. So there was little kids in other rooms learning how to dance, and we're in the dance studio beside them learning martial arts. So it was a pretty interesting dynamic. But
and then when did you go get the location now? And was this your first location you have now?
No, we've jumped around quite a lot actually. When we decided to go to a commercial school and get our own location, excuse me, that's when my wife came on board, Stacy, and she started running the books and doing the business side and all the accounting, all the stuff that I don't want to do. She's really good at that, and so yeah, since we started the commercial locations, she's come on and she's ran the business side of things for us since then. And so yeah, we probably had, let me think, about 5 different locations. So yeah, it's been good. Every time we find a new location, it's a little bit bigger. So obviously it lets me know that we are expanding and we're still growing. But the issues that come with getting a new building is higher costs. So it's all part of it. So it's kind of balancing it out over the years. But yeah, we have a great location now, and yeah, it's been just amazing. I think we run between 140, 150 students.
Wow.
Yeah,
Nice.
So it's been great. And we got amazing group of little preschoolers all the way up to our advanced black belt class. So awesome family classes. We have one of the things that we've really prided ourselves on is the fact that moms and dads can come to the same class and train with their kids no matter how old they are, right? And those classes have always been super popular with us. So it's not that like everyone's there trying to become a national champion or anything like that, but it's just great when moms and dads can now get on the floor and they can share the same training space with their kids.
That's amazing. As a family. Nice. Awesome. Well, maybe I'll jump in and talk about my experience with Family Taekwondo and what got me into it. Maybe a little bit of my story. I played volleyball, multiple sports most of my life, then chose volleyball. But then I took, in between my 3rd and 4th year of university, when I was playing for University of Manitoba, I got in a big fight at the generator downtown. And I realized then I wanted to learn how to protect myself. I went pretty intense about it. I dropped out of university the next year to take a year off and just train MMA back in the day. But that was too much like testosterone, ego driven, and not to say names, but it was pretty intense training and to become a tough guy who fights outside of like in the real world. Which obviously for Taekwondo you don't promote that at all. It's like
I mean, we definitely try to make sure that a lot of what we're teaching is not just for competition, that it can still be of practical use in the real world. But yeah, we definitely try to take the high road and steer around the outside conflict for sure.
Yeah. So 20 plus years ago, that wasn't exactly the same when we used to train as buddies. But now moving back to Prince George, I wanted to get back into martial arts. And not take any more headshots.
Yeah, for sure.
So my cousin Brandon Jennings, 4th degree now?
Fourth Dan, yes.
Fourth Dan black belt. And director Jeff behind camera, we were all talking, and they both spoke very, very highly of you and Family Taekwondo and the people there. So long story even shorter, we're like, maybe we can do a vision collision. So as you know, 2 years ago, was it 2 years ago, Jeff? 2 years ago, this February or something, I started training at Family. And you were very, very, you and Stacy and family, you were very welcoming to me and treated me with respect, and you fully welcomed me, and I appreciate that.
No, for sure. No, we were happy to see someone as tall as you come through the doors. It's a known fact that if you're tall and slender, that's definitely the Taekwondo body type that's ideal for our style of fighting, right? So to have someone of your height and the long reach and everything, it's like, oh, this is going to be great.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks. Well, I would love to. My back was hurting me at the time. As you know, I trained for 3 months or so, and my goal was to go train as a fight in nationals as a white belt after training with you for 3 months.
Yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. It was great to see someone come in with the enthusiasm that you had, and the idea that we had behind it was like, let's see just how far we can take someone in 3 months and see how well they do at this national level tournament, white belt or not, right? It's still a big event, and there's hundreds upon hundreds of people there. So there's nerves that come with it. And you're definitely in a different world when you have these judges staring at you and corner judges and umpires. So to see you in there after such a short amount of time that we spent on the training to do as well as you did. And then, yeah, unfortunately, the discrepancy and the wrong call at the end was unfortunate for sure. But I mean, like, you also were able to see how you can compete in martial arts, and you can just demonstrate proper technique, and you can still hit. Like, a lot of ITF gets known as being like this no contact sport, and you can see clearly, even as a white belt, it's not that way. And it's you can still get in there and you can hit and you can bang it out with people, but you don't have to really run that high risk of serious injury, right? Nowadays, with the new safety equipment that we have to wear, and especially even just really recently in BC with new regulations around contact. So you can still have a really good challenging match, and you don't have to worry so much about the injuries that are going to be sustained with it, right?
When's the next? Is it Westerns that's next?
So we just had our Westerns recently. That was in Calgary just a few weeks ago.
Nice.
Awesome time we had there. We only took a small group this time. We only took 10 of us there, but
did you get any medals?
Yeah, we did good. Yeah, we had let me see. We only took 3 black belts with us this time, but and 2 of them had only been a black belt for about 2 months.
Oh wow!
So
and then fighting in other black belts.
Fighting in black belt division, and you know, we definitely, as an instructor, it's my responsibility to look out for the safety of my competitors. And I knew that for one of our juniors, he was going to be competing against a high-level Canadian athlete that actually just returned from the World Cup in Argentina weeks, if not just days before this tournament. And I knew that he was going to have to be fighting against him. And
challenge.
So I told a number of my students, I'm like, you have to make sure that I'm the one that gets to talk to this student first. I don't want to put any sort of sense of fear into him. I need to be able to talk to him about this particular competitor, because I know that he's high level and I know that he's exceptionally skilled. What I also know about him after having coached with him at the last World Championships was that he's very skilled and he is also very controlled. So I was trying to like emphasize to my student, you may be fearful of this competitor. I think it's a good competitor to go against first because he does have such good control. He's not going to literally try to hurt you, right? He's not going to do anything with intent to try to hurt you. He will probably light you up, right? But
he won't try to knock you out.
He's not going to try to completely injure you or embarrass you in any way. He'll do what he needs to do to win.
Nice.
And then he'll probably, and he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He kind of turned it into a training session. So he actually even gave him an opportunity to throw some kicks and, like, you know, don't just stay tight in your guard.
Yeah.
Like,
let's do this.
Throw some stuff, right? And let you experience what it's like to fight. So I thanked him after the match, and my student, he got banged up a bit. He got a nice black eye and he got a cut lip and all the great things that come from competition, but it didn't deter him from wanting to compete. He now knows what level he needs to get to. Exactly what I went through when I first started. Like, I knew, like, whoa, this is higher level than what I'm used to. And so he got that opportunity as well, right? So
we learned a lot through that process.
Oh yeah, like, I mean, we learn a lot through some mistakes and getting hit, and to know now how hard he has to train when he comes back, and he'll take that experience going forward, right? So the next person that he faces won't be two individuals that just got back from World Cup. It might be someone who's also just got their black belt, and now it's a little bit more even, and he won't have that stress that comes from knowing that he has to go against such high level, right? So
that's cool. Sounds like, I remember a little bit, there's different values. Sounds like these guys have those values.
Absolutely. Like the core values that come from martial arts training, and it's not just Taekwondo. It's, I believe all martial arts are trying to instill that sort of humility, and we have a set of tenets that we follow: the courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and this indomitable spirit.
Nice.
And before we begin competition, we talk about those things, right? That yes, we're here to engage in a combative sport, but it has to be respect shown at all times, right? We have to make sure that we're treating each other as brothers and sisters in this sport, not just a rival or an enemy, right? So you'll see it all over it. Even just little kids, when they're done shaking their hands and the bowing to each other, is that sort of respect and courtesy is always shown through every level of competition.
I love it.
We have the national championships that are going to be held in Quebec, not Quebec City, but just outside Quebec City in May. So really looking forward to that. I always love going back east to compete. A lot of high level competitors back there as well. So growing up in Taekwondo, the Eastern competitors were always the ones to watch out for, like especially the crazy French Canadians. Right? They're always so good. So it's going to be awesome to go back there. We've always had good luck going back east with our tournaments. So really looking forward to seeing how well our black belts can do. This will be a selection nationals. So
no white belts then?
There'll be white belts there, but when it becomes a selection year, so you vie for points throughout the year, and that'll get you selected into either automatically go into a round robin division, or if you have to go into pool B, which is like you have to fight your way into the round robin. So the top 4 competitors of each black belt division will now do a round robin to determine the national champion.
Cool.
And so then what'll happen is, how we do it now is you get invited to a selection camp, which happens on the following day after nationals. So black belts that either won their division or were just kind of noticed to be of like high caliber get asked to go to a selection camp.
Cool.
And then that's where they determine the team that will go and represent Canada at the next World Championships.
The World Championships.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've definitely had the opportunity to be a national champion numerous times in sparring and in power breaking.
Nice.
And winning those national championships earned me those opportunities to go to a World Championships.
Very cool.
So, and they're not every year. So we only have World Championships every second year. And then in between that, we have World Cups. So World Cup every 2 years and World Championships every 2 years, and they just alternate between the two. So,
okay, cool. Yeah. What's this year?
So as I said, they just finished the World Cup in Argentina. So now coming up will be the World Championships, and those are actually going to be held in Croatia. So I've always wanted to go there.
Yeah.
So if I can get there as a coach, that's my goal for the next year. Obviously to get my students there, as many as I can. But my hope is to regain a spot on the national coaching staff.
Awesome.
And then go to Croatia with the team.
Oh, so you've been a national team coach before as well?
Yeah. So the last World Championships, I was selected for the coaching committee, for the coaching staff for the first time, and that was in Finland.
Cool.
Yeah,
nice.
that was an awesome experience. Like, it's definitely, I knew with stepping away from competing, I wanted to get right into coaching again right away, because as a competitor, I don't feel I was even still ready to step away from competition. I feel like I'm still healthy. I can still kick. I feel like I could still do well, but to be successful at a world championship level, I don't feel I have the time to train for what's needed at that level.
Yeah.
So I knew right away that I wanted to go take a coaching path, and to become a national team coach has been like that was definitely the next sort of goal that I wanted to transition to, and to get that opportunity was like, it was amazing to be up front
that's cool.
at a world championships, not only just competing, but now as a coach was just amazing.
Do you think you would ever compete again?
Well, I would love to say yes, but
I'd love to see you.
yeah, and I don't want to say unfortunately, I'm testing for my master level here in about a month and a half. So once you reach that level, it's no more competition anyway.
Wow.
So
Okay, can you explain it? So what is master's level?
So we basically break our black belts into levels. So we'd have our first, second, and third dan or degree would be assistant instructors. And then we have our 4, 5, and 6 dan, which become international instructors. And then we have 7 and 8 gets you to your master level.
So you're going for your 7th?
Going for 7th, yeah.
Wow.
And then we have one final one is for our grandmaster, which is like obviously a very select few, but that becomes age requirements and years spent training and what have you done to promote or Taekwondo within your town, your country. And so it's there's a lot more that goes with becoming a grandmaster, which is 9th dan.
Beyond that.
But for now, I am just super excited to be able to go for my 7th here pretty soon. And it's to say that I'm going to have mastered Taekwondo in the next month and a half or so is definitely not something I thought about when I was 13. Much like you were saying, you wanted to get into martial arts for fighting, right?
Yeah.
I felt growing up that I was kind of like, I wouldn't say I was weak, but I was just like really quiet and sort of humble. We're a Catholic family. We're like, don't hurt people and always be polite. And, and someone sort of messes with you the wrong way. And I didn't want to be a pushover anymore. Right. So not that I want to just go out there and just be some big bully. I just knew that I needed something to build up some confidence in myself. Right. So
same. Yeah. Training with even still, it helps my confidence.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love it because Taekwondo, it welcomes people like me who I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I don't have the time to consistently train Taekwondo, but I can still join.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that people of pretty much any age can go join.
100%. Yeah.
Even if I can't go all the time, but then there's also people like you who make it their life. So you welcome all those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's important to say, like, it's not just Taekwondo. I love Taekwondo, but I'm an advocate for all martial arts.
Nice.
I just think martial arts, if it's judo, karate, Taekwondo, MMA, jiu-jitsu, I think they're all amazing. And they all have those core values like we talked about earlier. And I think with anything, a lot of people are like, well, I can't do Taekwondo because I can't kick that high, or I can't do judo because I don't want to get thrown. Everything can be scaled, right? So Taekwondo can be scaled back to suit your body type or to suit whatever physical limitations you might have. Same as judo or jiu-jitsu, right? So everything can be scaled so that you just have to find one that you would be interested in, to find one that you think is right for your body type. And, even if it just comes down to the schedule that works best for you, right?
Yeah.
But it's important to know that you can learn any martial art that you want at any age and any body type. You just have to scale it back. And as long as you and the instructor know that it has to be scaled back, and then it shouldn't matter what martial art you choose, right? I think they're beneficial to everyone. And I like I said, I love watching all martial arts, and whether it's kung fu movies or me and my sons, we love watching every single UFC event, right? So
cool.
And it's amazing. I love watching martial arts. Like I said, it's not just Taekwondo isn't my life. Martial arts is my life. And
that's awesome.
If you're a martial artist, you're my martial arts brother. There's a lot of people that can be in really good shape and have the worst technique ever and hit really hard. But when you take the time to teach a martial arts technique sort of scientifically, and you break down the body mechanics and how it should actually be delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to be a super athlete to generate a lot of power, right? So
Yeah.
and it's exactly it. It can be unsuspecting for some people to produce a lot of power. And it's just like, whoa, I never would have thought that person could even kick that high yet. Yeah. Here they are throwing kicks at 6.5 feet in the air, no problem, right?
Yeah. Yeesh, I got humbled. I definitely got humbled in your classes. And after that, after I trained the kicking, getting that kicking motion going again, my drives at golf, I hit way further.
Right. That's good. Yeah.
Maybe it was the timing thing and snap or something.
Yeah. So we definitely, like you said, when you break down the mechanics of how your body can actually move, it's easy to see how it relates to so many other things, right? Like growing up, I was a skateboard kid, right? Oh, really? And so I've never had an issue with balance, right? But you start throwing your kicks out there and you start to turn when your kick is up high. Well, it's a little bit different, right, than having your 2 feet planted firmly on a skateboard. But it's amazing how when you finally start to really dissect how your body moves and works and what muscles get engaged, how it reflects and how it translates into other avenues as well.
To other sports. So a month and a half until you're a master.
Yeah, no, I'm really, man, I'm excited, super nervous. I don't like titles. I'm not ego driven, but to know that I'm going to be able to obtain my master level, and I've spent close or just over 35 years doing Taekwondo now, right? So, I'm definitely excited to obtain that title of master. But yeah, it's just definitely something I didn't think was going to happen years ago. And now here I am a month away from it. So we'll see what it's going to be like the night before, right? I actually have to travel to Vancouver to do this. So yeah.
Do you say good luck? Is that what's fair to say? Or?
You can say good luck. Yeah, best of luck for sure. Yeah.
Nice. Will you be the only master in Prince George history Taekwondo? No,
for sure. There's been a number of masters in Prince George and the surrounding area for sure. Yeah, so definitely not the first. Hopefully, I'm not the last either. Right? We have some of my own students that just recently tested for their 6th dan, where I am right now.
Oh wow!
So 7, 8. More years, 9 years, and they'll be getting their master level as well. So again, I'm not the first, and again, hopefully not the last. So
well, maybe he'll be a grandmaster one day.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. We'll see. Yeah.
All right. Well, Jordan, thanks for coming.
No, I really appreciate it. It's been awesome. Thank you very much. Cheers. Excellent. Thank you.